Why don't I teach backbends to children? It's the same reason that I don't teach them headstands either, and that's because it's just not safe. Now, if you're here listening and you teach deep backbends or headstands to children, just hear me out and then let me know what you think at the end. Now, I've been very lucky to have worked with and trained physiotherapists, pediatricians, and other medical practitioners, and they do all tend to say the same thing, that because children's bones, muscles, joints are still very much developing until early to mid-20s, placing pressure, especially on the spine, is an absolute no-no. When we do deep back bends and headstands with children, especially children 12 years and under, it really does place a lot of pressure on their body, particularly the spine. Now, just because children can do poses, of course, they're very flexible because their body is not fully developed yet, it doesn't mean that they should be doing it. And in my opinion, when we are encouraging children to do all these deep back bends like wheel and dropping back, most of the time, almost all of the time, they are not doing it with alignment in mind or with strength in mind. And even if they are, it's still not safe for them. Okay, so just because they can do it doesn't mean they should be doing it. I also feel that there are far more beneficial poses for children in yoga. They should be learning about balance, body connection, coordination, control, bilateral movements. There's so much that they can get from the fundamental poses that actually doing poses like wheel and drop back and headstand where they throw themselves against a wall isn't really a challenge. What is a challenge is moving slowly, moving with control, moving from one posture to another, balancing on one foot, balancing on one hand and one knee. These are all genuine challenges for children's bodies and brains, and that is the power of yoga. If we want to empower them through their body, they do not need to be doing headstands. They need to be doing other poses that make them feel internally strong and also challenge things like control and balance. So just reminding yourself, they can do it, but it doesn't mean they should be doing it. Whenever I'm planning a class or I'm introducing poses to children, I always think, what is the benefit? Why am I doing this? And honestly, when I think about wheel, why am I doing this? Why am I teaching this to a 5-year-old? I really can't come up with anything. Why am I teaching them to go into a really strong warrior pose? So that they can feel the internal strength, so that they can learn how to isolate different body parts, that they control different body parts. So just really asking yourself, what are they getting out of this pose? And things like deep back bends, I don't think that they're really getting anything out of them. There are far more beneficial poses. Now, there's also a lot more to yoga than poses. So you can be doing and should be doing mindfulness, self-regulation, breathing, relaxation, teaching them the fundamentals of yoga philosophy. That is what yoga is, as far as I'm concerned. If they want to do deep back bends, handstands, headstands, all of that at the age of 6 years old, then they're probably already going to gymnastics or dance class. But for yoga, I say let's teach them all aspects of yoga, and most importantly, let's keep them safe in their body and in their mind. So if you are looking for a yoga teacher training, workshops, guidance on how to safely and creatively teach all aspects of yoga based on children's body and brain development, then I would suggest taking a look at some of my teacher trainings. If you're in Hong Kong, I run it in person every month. If you are anywhere else in the world, you can look at my retreat style trainings or my online trainings. And I also have some shorter online courses and workshops to get you started. So if you are watching this and you do teach deep back bends to young children or headstands, I would honestly love to hear your opinion. I never like to say anybody is wrong or right, but for me, the most important thing when working with children is safety.